How deep is your love? Pull me closer again. How deep is your love? How deep is your love? so long since I heard your name. I was losing hope, but you felt the same. And it's been so long since I've seen your face that in my own mind I'd been replaced. God, since you come around, God, I need to know right now. So won't you just tell me inside you only felt the chance that maybe you could become my baby if you just tell me inside. She got cherry lips, angel eyes. She knows exactly how to tantalize. She's out to get you, danger by design. Cold-blooded vixen, she don't compromise. She's something mystical in color lights. So far from typical, but take my advice. Before you play with fire, do think twice. And if you get burned, don't be surprised. Lifted, drifting higher than the ceiling. Ooh, baby, it's the ultimate feeling. You got me lifted, feeling so gifted. Sugar, how you get so fly? Sugar, how you get so fly? Ooh, sugar, how you get so fly? Sugar, sugar, how you get so fly? Ooh, sugar, how you get so fly? Sweet talking lady, love how you entice. Sugar with just the right amount of spice. Charming, alluring, everyone's desire. She's out to get you, you can't run, you can't hide. She's something mystical in color lights. I say, so far from typical, but take my advice. Before you play with fire, do think twice. And if you get burned, well, baby, don't you be surprised. Lifted, drifting higher than the ceiling. Ooh, baby, it's the ultimate feeling. You got me lifted, feeling so gifted. Sugar, how you get so fly? But you won't get me tonight. Lifted, drifting higher than the ceiling. Ooh, baby, it's the ultimate feeling. You got me lifted, feeling so gifted. Sugar, how you get so fly? Sugar, how you get so fly? Ooh, sugar, how you get so fly? Sugar, sugar, how you get so
Well, regardless, welcome everybody, especially the newcomers. I'm glad you're here joining us in Nevada, and I'm glad you're here at the GSR, and I hope that your stay has been good so far. First thing to talk about is this year's theme. Like last year, we did an elaborate theme that we've created an entire, what was it called? An entire style guide. All right, I've been up for 2 days pretty much. We did our elaborate style guide that we posted on the website, and everybody seems to have really loved it, and they've all been taking cues from the theme and building artwork that's in theme, and we love it. We love seeing it when people take the stuff that we've lovingly built and turn it into stuff of their own. So I think that quite a few of you have decided that you are either David Fighters or Juggernauts from what I've seen. Let's hear it for the David Fighters. I'm curious how many we have. And what about the giant Juggernauts that just want to knock down buildings and destroy things? Yep, that's pretty much what I figured. We have our work cut out for us, obviously. But regardless, I do want to thank everybody for being so well behaved last year, and I am very confident everybody will continue to be just as well behaved this year. That's part of the reason why this hotel lets us come back every year, is because everyone at this convention is really very nice, and they're very forgiving, and the hotel very much appreciates it. And I know we all have our occasional mix-ups and messed up room reservations, and stuff happens, and everybody has, for the most part, been very forgiving and very understanding, and they've tried their best to accommodate, and just please keep it up. We have sort of a symbiotic relationship, and I hope we get to keep it. Lost my place on my phone. Okay. We do have a lot of exciting events this weekend, but before I get into some of those, I want to thank some specific people. First, I want to thank the amazing AV crew who put all of this together over the last day and a half, especially after a couple of quite major technical difficulties and suppliers missing equipment and things like that, and they still managed to get it all put together and make it work and make it look good. So you guys are all rock stars. Thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate everything you do. I want to thank all of the volunteers because we have so many now. I can't thank them all personally, of course, but I do every time I see them. And they have all been working their asses off for the last day and a half to get everything set up and ready to go. In particular, I want to thank the load-in team who has gone through all the trouble to hang up all the decorations, put up all the toys and stuff for us to play with. And as long as all those toys and stuff stay in the con space, we can keep bringing them back for you every year. So please don't steal them. In particular, those yarn balls take a very long time to make the way we make them. I want to introduce, there's probably a couple of them in here. I want to introduce our convention safety team. Their name is Flare. If you're from any Bay Area conventions, you've probably already met Flare in the past or know who they are or have heard of them. They're sort of like the East Coast Dorsai. They're here to make sure everybody is safe and make sure that people are not getting on the other side of too crazy. They stay on this side of too crazy where they belong. And they're there to help if you need anything, even just a simple bandage. They're also there specifically for if you have a situation that's made you feel uncomfortable for whatever reason, they can help you get that resolved and give you a place to be while we figure out how to take care of it. They're good at that. They're very good at healing. If anybody else feels like volunteering, we are still accepting more at-con volunteers. The desk for that is downstairs in the Nevada room. You probably all passed it on your way to registering, if you registered at con anyway, if you did the at-con registration. And each 4 hours of volunteering will get you 2 vouchers for the snack bars that are going to be set up inside the con space. And I say snack bars, but they will be serving more like full meals, or at least you can pick and choose items to make a full meal. I want to thank the GSR for hosting us, of course. And a small reminder to please remember to always tip your housekeeping, tip your servers, tip your valet drivers, especially the valet drivers, because the valet drivers, there is no valet price to my knowledge. I think valet is technically free, so they kind of expect you to tip. Yeah, it is free. I haven't used valet in forever here because I'm a cheapskate. It is free, but you should still tip them. They make their living on tips. Same with the bellman and the food servers and such. And the food servers especially, because this is a state where they do, I don't know if the hotel does it, but this is a state where servers are allowed to be paid less than minimum wage because they make tips, unlike some states. So definitely make sure you tip. Yeah, that's Nevada for you. I want, even though I had nothing to do with it, I do want to personally apologize for the pool that suffered a juggernaut attack many months ago, and the hotel has tried their best to repair it in time, but they just couldn't do it because we had such bad weather this year. We had such bad weather this winter. If you're from the West Coast, all of our weather blew over you on its way here. You know how bad it was. And we have had, I kid you not, they've been recording for 150 years. We have had more rainfall already this year than the entire 150 years that they've been recording. My house almost flooded. My house was like an inch away from flooding. So the entire construction site where the pool is was also essentially flooded, and they couldn't work for like a month and a half, which is why they're now a month and a half behind. Yeah, it was. It was just a very dirty pool. Very dirty pool. But anyway, please, I know it's frustrating, but it's not the hotel's fault. They did try their best. Last, I want to thank all of you for having faith in our ability to do themes and to give you guys inspiration so that you can show things and show us your creativity, and we've given you a little bit of inspiration, and you have all run with it, and I love it. Thank you so much. Okay, next up, let's talk about some of the events. We have printed schedules in registration, so be sure to check out our schedule. You can pick up at registration or ask for at information. Just ask for information at the operations desk. If you go on our website, at goblfc.org. You can also see the event schedule there. We've broken it out into a few different sections. Really? Somebody still has that text tone? That's okay, mine's the one from Undertale. Anyway, we try to do our best to incorporate the theme into everything we do. And so here are a few things you can do to help up the hype for the theme. On our second stage, and I think some of them already migrated over. Yeah, there's one of them. On the second stage, there's a bunch of props to play with, like giant buildings, one of which is apparently already over there on the floor. We also have the giant light bright is back. It's getting a little tired. I think we're going to have to rework it next year, but it's good enough for now. First for Life is going to be here on this stage tomorrow at 1 p.m. They're going to be running some games and help recruit some Juggernaut forces and help trying to raise some money for the charity. That's awesome. I love it when people do things to raise money for charity. Speaking of which, our charity themselves are also downstairs in the desk right next to the volunteer desk. And they have some items for sale if you feel like it, or you can go say hi, and they love to get pictures, and they love to say hi, and they love to tell you more about what they're doing. They're right. It's been the same charity for several years. So the name of the charity is Safe Haven Rescue Zoo. They adopt exotic animals that have either been illegal or seized pets, or they are like old circus animals or performance animals that have lost their homes, and they give those animals a place to complete their lives. They have mostly big cats. I think that they've maybe brought a painting or two that have been painted by those cats. They usually do every year for the charity auction. Charity auction, by the way, is right before closing ceremonies on Sunday. I think that's 5 p.m., but I can't remember for sure. The auction, I think, is 5 p.m. Check the schedule. It's somewhere around there. Our dealer's den is downstairs this year. This is the first year where we have all 4 of the sort of primary convention spaces in this hotel, which is this one, the one next door behind you, and the 2 Nevada Room and Silver State Pavilion downstairs. We have lots of dealers this year, and they've really been going crazy with our theme and our style guide. So there's all kinds of theme-specific stuff you can do here. And the Fursuit Festival, we're doing that again. That actually worked out pretty well. It was our sort of parade substitute last year, because we figured out that parades just won't work in this building anymore. We're too big. So instead, we're doing the Fursuit Festival again. This year, I have made the executive decision to move the festival to Friday. That timing may seem a little weird, but I chose that specifically to not punch a giant hole in the schedule on Saturday, so that we have more time to put big events and more events on Saturday when really everyone's here. So that's why the festival is Friday. The festival will be Friday, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. It's going to happen in the combination of this room and the ballroom behind you, which gives us, I think, like 70,000 square feet of space or something like that for that festival. We've planned, I believe it's 8 photo shoots and 4 or 5 games to participate in. And we can all have a lot of fun. And I guess we're probably going to have a few more people than usual coming in from the public, because the hotel went and put a welcome sign for our con out on the freeway, as I noticed. And that's really cool. So we're probably going to have a lot more people coming in for the festival on 6 to 9 tomorrow. And we will just simply stop checking badges for that 3 hours, so that anybody from the public can come in and interact and enjoy everyone and enjoy all the creativity that you all have. So, kind of a mistake we made last year that I'm going to fess up to is giving away fursuit tags as a part of the festival. I decided not to do that again this year, because it essentially just made the festival have a giant line out the door that caused us a bunch of headaches. So instead, we have moved back to the original fursuit tag tradition of handing them out randomly throughout the weekend to suitors who are in the con space. But for those who don't want to take their chances with that, we also have taken 10% of the fursuit tags, and they are in the con store for sale. If you choose to just go that route, you can. Most of them are still being given away for free, as is tradition, but a few of them are now for sale for those who just simply don't want to deal with that. And you, I guess, don't even have to have a fursuit, really. You just have to have money. Oh, and every single penny of what's being sold for those fursuit tags we are giving to charity. We're not taking any of that ourselves. I almost forgot that. You're welcome. There's a little last-minute addition to the schedule, and it's tonight. We added another session of fursuit games this evening, just to kind of get things started. It's 11 p.m. to 1 a.m., correct? I can barely see you. These lights are really bright. But Okay, 11 p.m. to 1 a.m. We're running it on the second stage over there. I just thanked you guys a few minutes ago, and then you do that to me? Anyway, the extra fursuit games will be this evening, and they are going to happen over in the room behind you, because this room is going to be a dance at that point. The dance tonight, I think, starts at 9, I want to say. I think that's right, but I don't have the whole schedule in my head. I have enough things in my head already. Okay, there are a couple of things we need to ask people to try to avoid. As usual, I say this every year, and I'm going to keep saying it every year. Don't go into the casino with your face covered with a fursuit or a paper bag or anything else, or a bandana or a mask or anything. They have to see your face. Once you're not in the casino, it's okay, but they have to see your face when you're actually over where there are slot machines. They're okay with people kind of going past the Starbucks and around the outside, as long as you don't go onto the casino floor. They have given us that concession because everybody's been so well behaved in the last years. They've stretched it past the elevators a little bit, and they've let people go in front of the area in front of Starbucks now. So that's all on you for being good and not breaking that rule all these years. The other thing that's started to become a little bit of a pain point that we need to try and deal with, or that we need to try and keep on each other about, and I'm just as bad at it as everyone else, is try to avoid hanging out in front of the elevators, because there are people trying to get to those elevators that can't because there are such a throng of people hanging out around them. And I swear to God, every time I come to this hotel, every time during the year, that's where I end up standing and talking to people, is right in front of those elevators. So I know how tempting it is to do that. Just every time you catch yourself doing it, just remember, oh yeah, I need to not be in front of these elevators, and just go somewhere else. And just try to do your best. And don't yell at each other over it or anything, just try to remember. As with previous years, your con badge still gets you free mini golf over at the golf course. It also gets you free go-karts. The way you do that with the go-karts is you need to show your con badge to the people at the management desk, or the management office at the racetrack, and they will give you a token to then go race with. And then when you're done racing and you probably really want to do it again, you go back in the office and get another token, and then you go back in the office and get another token, and then you spend all day out there and die of heat stroke. Don't die of heat stroke, please. As I recall, if I understand correctly, they have made the slick track and the drift track are free this year. I think they have the road track is the third one. That one you can do, and it's just a discounted price rather than a free badge, or rather than free. I think they have also, I didn't put it on my notes here, but if I remember right, I think they also did discounts for that giant swing thing. They've done that every year. They are okay with fursuits there, as long as you can convince them that there aren't any parts that are going to fly off while you're 150 feet in the air. That's kind of important to them. We do have free late night bowling again, which is just go back out and go around and come over the bowling alleys over there. That has been set for midnight to 6 a.m., so it gives you something to do other than the dance, which is great, because not everybody likes the dance, or they get tired of it after a while, and we're trying our best to give people more stuff to do at night besides just the dance. So the late night bowling is midnight to 6 a.m., with the exception of, I think it was Saturday night / Sunday morning. It starts at 2 a.m. instead of midnight. Whatever their busiest day is, I think it was that. The shoe rental is free as well. I haven't heard back whether or not they will let people with fursuit feet, or if they require you to switch to bowling shoes. If they require you to use bowling shoes, you have to use it, but maybe they'll let you to use your fursuit feet if they're okay with it. I forgot to check. I'm sorry. Is it only bowling shoes? Okay. They have to protect their lanes. Who knows what kind of sharp metal objects have embedded themselves in your fursuit paws over the years. I know I found a few in mine. It was actually a pretty big hit last year, so we're doing it again this year, only we're doing it more. There's some free HIV testing available downstairs for anybody who's interested. That's going to be in the Nevada room downstairs, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It's for like 3 or 4 hours each afternoon, and the start and end times change each day, so just check the con website for the schedule. And we just did this either today or was talked about it late last night and then implemented it today. We did those like $10 soda cup things last year, and we weren't going to do it this year because we are trying to get people to get their food inside the con space. And then Port of Subs came back to us like yesterday, and they're like, "Yeah, we're ready to go. You can start selling those cups, and we've stocked up the heck out of our soda machine." And then we're like, okay. Well, we have the leftover cups from last year. Is that okay? Even though some people still have them? And they're like, yeah, sure, that's fine. So I guess we're just going to sell those cups again. And those are going to be in the con store tomorrow. I think registration's been selling some of them now, and Port of Subs is honoring them already. And as a result, I've added those as a last-minute volunteer or as a last-minute recruit/staff benefit. And almost nobody's come over and got them yet because I haven't gotten the word out. But all recruits and staff that are in the room here can go over to ConOps and pick those up too, including myself. I haven't done mine either. Yeah. If somebody can throw that on the staff telegram, that'd be really cool. Thanks. Speaking of the snack bars in the con space, that is how we are trying to make our catering minimum this year, is by making it easier for all of you to buy decent food inside the con space and not have to leave and not have to go out of your way to a restaurant and wait in lines and all that stuff. There's going to be some snack bars, not this room, but the ballroom behind you, because that's open all weekend, or that's open all the days. There's going to be one downstairs, and there's going to be one in the dealer's den as well. And we've asked them to give us a sort of a variety of food each day. We're probably going to keep changing it as the weekend rolls on and we decide what makes sense and what doesn't. But we'll figure that out. So that does help the catering minimum. The bar that eventually gets opened behind here, that does help the catering minimum. So that's cool. Basically, with catering minimums, the way they work is we spend that money either way, so we're going to spend it that way. Or we just spend it on nothing, so we're going to spend it on that. But again, it's experimental this year. We don't know how it's going to work yet. We're going to start finding out tomorrow, and hopefully it's popular. But what we have done is we've used those as a way to feed all of our volunteers with food vouchers, and then for everybody else with a badge, all of the food is half the normal price. So you can go to those snack bars and get a few things to eat, or you can get a whole meal, and it's not, they didn't just double the price and then make it half again. It is really half price. They didn't pull that. So I'm excited about that. We'll see how that works out. And hopefully those little food bars will be kept busy. I can't think of anything else off the top of my head, so thank you all, and welcome to BLFC. And I love you all. Thank you.
Sleepless nights at the chateau, visualize it.
I'll give it something to do.
Coach, wherever we go, visualize it.
I'll give it something to do.
Get a wildfire burning, visualize it.
I'll give it something to do.
Ace high and going all in, visualize it.
I'll give it something to do.
Spread it like peanut butter jelly. Do it like I owe you some money. Spread it like wherever we go. Visualize it.
I'll give it something to do.
Get a wildfire burning. Visualize it.
I'll give it something to do.
It's hot and going harder. Visualize it.
I'll give it something to do.
Spread it like peanut butter jelly. Do it like I owe you some money. Spread it like peanut butter jelly. Do it like I owe you some money.